So you're on the search for a second-hand GPU and only have a budget of 100 Aussie dollars to spend. Well, thankfully for you, I've done the research and have found the best GPU that is regularly available for $100 or under from both Nvidia and AMD. These are the guidelines I followed to find these GPUs. Number 1, each GPU had to be regularly available for $100 or under from places such as Gumtree, eBay, or Facebook buy and sell groups so that these prices were available to everyone. Number 2, both GPUs were cleaned and new thermal paste applied, then overclocked to release their maximum potential in game. Number 3, all games are benchmarked at 1080p resolution at the same settings 3 times each, whilst also trying to match the inputs each time to create the fairest test I could. Number 4, I used the exact same Testbench configuration minus the GPU and had the most up-to-date stable driver for both graphics cards. Let's find out what cards are the best in the $100 price range. On the green team is the GTX 760, which can generally be found for between $80 and $100. The model I have here is a reference design from Galax with a blower style cooler attached. This card features 2GB of GDDR5 memory on a 256-bit memory bus. For display, the card features one DVI-D, one DVI-I, HDMI 1.4 and DisplayPort 1.2. The 760 requires 170 watts of power delivered from two 6-pin connectors. I managed to overclock the boost clock to 1190MHz from 1075MHz and also overclock the memory to 3360MHz from 3000MHz. For Team Red is a 7870, which can generally be found for $100 to $120, but can be had for $100, so it qualifies. The model I have here is a Gigabyte WindForce edition with a 3-fan cooling system. This card also features 2GB of GDDR5 memory on a 256-bit memory bus. For display we have one DVI-I, one HDMI 1.4 and 2 mini display ports. The 7870 requires 225 watts of power from two 6-pin connectors. I managed to overclock this card's boost to 1170MHz from 11000MHz and the memory to 1350MHz from 12000MHz. Now I've introduced the cards, let me introduce the Testbench. Red Rocket is comprised of a 6700K clocked at 4.7GHz at 1.25V on an Asus Maximus 8 Impact motherboard with 32GB of DDR4 RAM at 3000MHz. On to the benchmarks. As you can see, most games are incredibly close with only a few average FPS between the cards. The 760 bested CSGO, Crysis 3, GTA 5, Rise of the Tomb Raider and Metro Last Light, while the 7870 was in front in The Witcher 3, Battlefield 1, Hitman, Doom and The Division. Even the Firestrike scores were close, but the 7870 won out by 6,352 to 6,388 in the overall score and 6,839 to 6,973 for the GPU scores. In conclusion, you would think I'd give the 7870 the win due to the higher Firestrike scores, but there is two reasons why the 760 is the better option. Number 1, the card is cheaper for almost the same performance, and number 2 is due to the mining boom happening right now, which is affecting more AMD cards than Nvidia. The 7870 is rarely available, and when it is, the price is generally inflated. Let's hope this mining craze comes to an end soon, so the 7870 can make a return to the second-hand market. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing for more graphics card benchmarks and other videos in the future. If you have a suggestion, question or criticism, leave a comment, and thank you very much for watching.